Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. We're going to do a update here for New World and patch 1.0.3. Some really good stuff coming and some good changes that a lot of people were looking forward to push the game in the right direction and not the wrong direction. So let's not waste any more time and dive right into them, shall we? All right, so first and foremost, what a lot of players are waiting for is the server transfer. Now, they're not going to go live first thing tomorrow morning. I'm not going to dive into the super big details on this. I'll put a link down below. You can read through this if you want to do a server transfer. But basically, they're going to test it in the Asia Pacific servers first. And if it's stable and it holds up, they'll start rolling it out in other servers. So maybe by tomorrow you'll be able to transfer. But I would have your hopes more towards Thursday, maybe Friday, if things don't go well. A couple of things with that. They've got a video kind of explaining the process here. You can watch that. It's on YouTube as well. I'll throw a link down for that. Key things with it are you need to remove your company membership before you transfer because that doesn't carry over. Your friends list doesn't transfer because that's world specific. And all of your buy and sell orders on the trading post need to be removed. Those are the big ones I saw that everybody needs to hang on to. But things that you're going to keep is all your character progression, your items, your titles, all that junk. You're going to keep your inventory and your storage. You'll keep your currency. You keep your house and your decorations, which is really cool. A lot of people were worried about that. And you're going to keep all quest progression. There's a bunch of other stuff in here talking about, transfers in the future, what servers you can move to, where you can't. So make sure you read through this if that's something you're looking to do. Now, onto the patch notes. We got some really good stuff in here. There's a lot of kind of bug fixes and technical stuff that there's not a lot of detail to, but things like, implemented final pieces of the server transfer framework. We know about that. Added improvements to the world selection UI. Good. Any UI improvement right now is a huge bonus. Added clear messaging when a player is kicked due to going AFK for violating the EAC. Added clear messaging when stacked discounts are present, such as territory standing and faction discounts on property taxes. Right now, it's really hard to see what your discounts are when you're looking at stuff, so it looks like they've added just a little more information, kind of like when you're doing Azoth travel to make that easier. They've implemented some back-end changes to help the team investigate concerns about client performance in war. Hopefully, this is just going to help them fix the lag, as well as maybe undo some of these glitches and stuff people are using, hopefully. In the PvE side, they adjusted the respawn timer on Boatswain and Bros and various other elite enemies throughout the world. So I'm wondering if this is just a target at the elite spawn, camping, quick respawns and stuff like that. In depths, players must now be in the area to damage Thorpe. Apparently there was a way you could damage Thorpe if you weren't there, so that's good that it's fixed. An error message now appears when players attempt to buy their own items in the trading post. You might say, well, what idiot would do that? Well, this idiot. I've definitely done it on accident because I've had stuff up for several days and forgot that it was mine, and I bought it and I see it and I'm like, oh man. So at least there's a message now if you're going to do that. They reverted a chest loot change from update 1.02 that was causing too many refining regions to roll from chests. If you're listening to this and you haven't read the notes, you are already missed the bus on this. Every region has skyrocketed in price. Everybody pulled all their orders off. Everybody bought everything up in anticipation that things are going to go back to where they were, which in some cases was 100 times more expensive than they are now, or they were a few hours ago. So expect to see everything in the world get more expensive. This is going to have ripple effects through the whole economy because all materials are going to get more expensive. You're going to see refining materials get cheaper in some instances. And then like greenwood and iron ore, where at the same time, you're going to see steel, wood, things like that get a lot more expensive probably. They adjusted the volume of the Amazon game splash screen, thankfully, because that was an ear blast. That sucked. Armor is limited to one skill perk per piece. Now, we've had a lot of discussion about what this means, and I'm not 100% sure. But basically what it boils down to is if you have a piece of armor and it's got multiple skill perks on there, not your stats or luck or anything like that, but actually weapon skills, things that affect your different skill trees in your weapons. Instead of having two of those on a piece of armor, it will only always have one. So don't think they're gonna everything that's out there already that's like that is probably going to be grandfathered, because it just seems impractical that they could go back and change that or undo it or limit one to work. It just doesn't make any sense to me there, but just something to keep in mind on your current armor and armor you're going to be seeing going forward after the patch. Dyes are now removed from items upon trade with a warning message present. All right, I get why they're doing this. It's probably a money thing, to be honest with you, because people pay actual real money for dyes and they don't want people getting those dyes and then being able to use those to sell to other people. Kind of sucks, but it is what it is, so dies don't transfer on trade now. The time to declare war timer now visually pauses to make it clear when an invasion is imminent but not yet scheduled. Territory remains in conflict state after invasions and war can be declared. So this is good. There was a lot of confusion with this, so this just adds a little bit more clarity to that process of declaring wars when you have invasions happening. Now here's my favorite part of this, the bug fixes. Fixed issues with the tier 4 and tier 5 Azoth staffs. Go close those high level portals. This is amazing. This is all this endgame content that people that have been waiting for that couldn't get to can now go do. So this is good. You're going to see a lot of content, a lot of stuff come out of this. So it's going to be a whole new game tomorrow morning. Fixed an issue causing the abandoned event notification to persist. This was super annoying. This is up in the top right screen. Sometimes you'd run by a closed portal or something and you'd get this abandoned notification. You had to log out or go to another portal. So that being fixed is great little quality of life. They fixed a housing UI issue. The UI will now correctly show property taxes are subject to the full price of the home and not impacted by the first time homebuyer discount. So this should just give more clarity to taxes so players don't get sticker shock when they buy a house, when they have to pay their taxes for the first time. Fixed issues with early game spawning. The watchtower respawn point is placed by the settlement after it has been discovered. Players no longer incorrectly respawn at the watchtower after selecting a respawn at a settlement. So this is just a little bug with newer players dealing with the watchtower when you spawn in. So if you're past that, it doesn't really matter. Fixed an issue where not all items for town projects were consumed when completing the missions. Now, I had an assumption that this happened, but I was like, oh, maybe I just had extra stuff in my inventory that I forgot about. But you turn something in a town board and I'd have like 1 or 2 left over. And I was like, what the heck is going on? Free stuff, but it's fixed now and it's not happening anymore. Resolved login errors that prevented players from accessing their character. So there's a couple of videos out there of people that couldn't log into the game and haven't been able to for quite some time. So I'm happy to see that it's fixed for them. They fixed an issue that caused arena keys to not drop as intended. So the arena keys are going to be more available now. They fixed an issue caused runic bear armor to not be appropriately dyed during wars. Just a visual glitch, if you will. Things are going to look different now. Fixed a pet placement issue. Pets placed in an otherwise empty house now remain in the home after the player logs out instead of returning the pet to the player's inventory. I didn't notice this, but a little bug that's fixed. AP Southeast servers now display the correct time zones in game. So good for those guys. They can see the correct times. Fixed an issue with titles. Players' titles and achievements now appear as intended, and the achievement tab properly updates with a new achievement is earned. This is so good because I get like 15 alerts every time something triggers and my screen just gets bombarded with the same achievements over and over and over again. So happy to see this fixed. Fixed an issue that caused company invites to persist after decline accept. This is good. There's been a lot of bugs with the group AI and the friend AI and invites and all that stuff. So hopefully this fixes that. Fixed an issue that caused Raja spawns to stack forever. One big cat at a time, please, they say. Yeah, this was funny if you're up at Evan scale. There was a big white tiger that literally had like 500 of them. I'm being exaggerative. There was a bunch of them spawned together. And if you even poked that beast, you just got stun locked and died. It didn't matter if you were 60 and had 600 gear score. You got smoked by this. Now, speculative fixes. These are, as they say, these fixes listed below are tentative fixes and mitigations. Our goal is to get these changes out and see if issues persist so we can continue to work on them and address in a future update if necessary. So this is something where they think they fixed it, but they may not have. So we're just gonna have to bear with them. Hopefully we see progress on it, but it works around, they worked to fix an issue with wars and invasions kicked off earlier than scheduled. I never saw this. I've seen a couple of threads on Reddit about it. It would really suck if you're trying to put stuff together and this happened. They worked to fix an issue where not all settlement stations upgraded as intended when the town projects are completed. So we have this in the Everfall on our server. There's like 6 stations that have been upgraded over the last week and none of them are upgraded. They've just been frozen since the last invasion. They upgrade in the town board. They upgrade in the thing. The company that owns the city has to pay the taxes and everything on them. And they weren't upgrading. So this is a huge fix. I'm glad. It was really kind of screwing with our economy and the town and everything that was going on with player progression. And then the last thing is players should no longer become stuck when entering or exiting an instance. If a player reconnects and their character is dead, the respawn screen is open with a respawn option available. Players who are currently stuck need to contact customer support to have their character unstuck. There are a couple horror stories of folks with this. The thing that players have to contact customer support to have their characters unstuck sucks because I know all these guys have and they've been waiting weeks to get their stuff fixed. So I wish luck to those folks and I hope they're there. Now, one thing that wasn't talked about in here, but there is a bug, a glitch that allows players to be invincible. I'm not going to get into a lot of history about it. You can go watch somebody else who wants to do that. But basically, there's an invulnerability cheat in the game. A lot of companies are using it. We have companies on our server using it to take cities. It sucks. It is what it is. They've supposedly fixed it, but that will remain to be seen, and remain to see if there's any more exploits out there that are going to come out, because it seems like every time they patch one, 2 more show up. So that's pretty much it. That's the notes. Hopefully we have a much smoother running New World tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to get some rest and get a nice new look at the economy tomorrow after they blow everything up with the changes. Thanks for watching the video, and we'll see you on the next one.